Hello and welcome. Got some news I'd like to share with you. Maybe you missed it. The DOJ is banned from prosecuting medical marijuana users, growers, and sellers. So let's dig into the story from RT America. Cannabis advocates notched a major victory when a federal appeals court banned the government from prosecuting medical marijuana users and growers in 25 states where the practice is legal, despite it still being a federal crime. The Ninth U.S. Circuit Court of Appeals three-judge panel has ruled that the Department of Justice cannot spend budget money to prosecute people who grow, sell, or use medicinal marijuana if they comply with state law. This is fantastic news for anybody involved with cannabis. 25 states have medical marijuana laws on the books, so that means that about half the country can rest a little easier knowing that fewer federal resources are going towards prosecuting otherwise law-abiding citizens. You know, this also comes at the same time when President Obama commuted the sentences of several drug war prisoners. This also comes around the same time that the federal government is promising that they're going to phase out for-profit prisons, and these are the same prisons that lobby for harsher sentences for low-level drug offenses, which helps pad their pockets. So one of the judges on this case, Diarmuid O'Scanlan, he had this to say about the ruling. If the federal government prosecutes such individuals, it has prevented the state from giving practical effect to its law. This is a sign that the federal government is finally getting it. They're starting to realize that prohibition isn't working, and they're starting to realize that this isn't the solution to the overall drug problem. Going after low-level drug offenders who are following state law, by the way. Speaking of the states, there's been a 20-year experiment going on here in California with medical marijuana. Can you believe it's been that long? This state-run experiment, the results are in. Medical marijuana works. It's not the scourge that so many people believe that it is. This is a sign that the federal government is catching up with the times. But just like so many stories we hear in the news today, this story has a dark side as well. Congress could restore funding tomorrow, a year from now, or 4 years from now. This is Judge Diarmuid O'Scanlan again. And the government could then prosecute individuals who committed offenses while the government lacked funding. So, if Congress ever decides to fund this program again, if they decide to say, let's fund the drug war to the full extent again, this means they can retroactively go back and prosecute people who were in violation of the law while the government didn't have the money to do this. And that's bad news, and that's why it's so important for everyone out there to get informed and elect pro-cannabis congresspeople and senators up and down the ticket, as they say. So, speaking of Congress, one of the apparent good guys in this story is Representative Earl Blumenauer. Upon this announcement, he had this to say. Congress is increasingly united in the recognition that we should not interfere with what states are doing with medical marijuana. Unfortunately, we've got the DEA and 93 U.S. attorneys who have people that are still frying little fish. I'm sure you've heard about the DEA decision to not reschedule cannabis. The DEA still thinks that marijuana is a very dangerous drug with no medical value, and it's part of the reason why there's almost no research on marijuana in the United States, and it's part of the reason that we can't get this thing reclassified. So it's a classic chicken and the egg problem there. But all in all, I would say that this is a big win for cannabis patients and growers, sellers, manufacturers, business people, anybody involved with cannabis at all whatsoever. It's just a little bit of weight off your shoulders, knowing that the federal government is making this less of a priority, knowing that they're not going to be prosecuting people who obey state laws, at least when it comes to medical marijuana, and that's a good thing. So let me know if you like this video, hit the thumbs up, and thanks for watching.